chances, or if you don't want that, to turn it off. And we are now live. And so, Erev Tov, good evening, Shabbat Shalom. A joy to be able to celebrate this confirmation service, this Shabbat, with all of you, whether you're here on our Zoom service or on YouTube. We're going to keep everybody muted, except for our confirmation class kids and our cantor and Rabbi Capel as we conduct our service. If you did not already have a chance to do so, and you want to follow along in the liturgy, you can download the service. There is a flip book, a free flip book version, and there's a discounted Kindle book version. So you're welcome to download either of those. Those are in the chat or on our YouTube page or on our website, links to that. But for now, we welcome each other. We rejoice in this Shabbat as we turn to our cantor and join together in singing Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. How good it is, how sweet it is that all of us are here celebrating together.
Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. 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 Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad.
As our cantor prepares to lead us in the blessing of our Shabbat lights, I invite you, if you have not yet lit your lights, to go ahead and prepare to do so, to light them along with us. And as we do so, let us recognize how special and how wonderful this moment is. This Shabbat, this confirmation service, as our students prepare to lead us this evening, having gone through our program, having gone through all the tumult of this year, still here they are ready to lead us. So we wave the light of Shabbat toward us as we light our lights.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. We turn to Cece Gadzinski to offer up our invocation for this evening.
Shalom, and welcome to a confirmation service unlike another. My 4 lifelong classmates and I are honored and happy to have reached this point in our lives and in our Judaism. Gabby, Evan, Hannah, Marissa, and I are the best of friends, and for years we've been brought together by our Judaism, spiritually and technically, having lived so far from one another. These days, we are all living through an era of immense and unanticipated change, and I'd like to remind everyone of the strength we've all proven by adapting and compromising and amplifying light in the darkness. At first, I was moderately devastated over the realization that this would be so far from what I'd always imagined, but I've come to realize that it makes our confirmation no less than what it truly is. The most important things to take away from this experience are still here. The absence of the bima beneath our feet is not the absence of our service's value and meaning, or our togetherness. We're grateful that you've joined us here for this holy moment in our lives.
On page 20, we prepare to welcome the Sabbath bride into our lives with the singing of Lecha Dodi, verses 1, 5, and 9, and will be led in that blessing by Hannah Darginio, that song by Hannah Darginio. As she sings, while it is her voice we are all going to hear, I encourage you to sing along with everybody who's leading music. I encourage you to sing along, even though you're muted. You can harmonize with them. It is a beautiful, wonderful thing. But we turn to page 20 as we join in Lecha Dodi, remembering to turn and greet the Sabbath bride on the last verse.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. La lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Yishmiyanu el hameichad, Adonai echad, U'shemo echad, L'shem u'tiferet belit hila la lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, Kiva orech, Kumi uri, Shir daberi, Kivot Adonai alaich, Nigla lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela.
Let's ride to greet the Sabbath bride.
Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha uv'zahola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala, lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. La lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela.
We may be seated as Hannah continues with her words of inspiration.
When I first became a member of this congregation, one of the very first things I noticed was the pictures that were lining the walls. After learning that I would also be getting a photo like that, I was very excited knowing that I would get to be on that wall, standing on the bima and wearing a pretty white robe. Fast forward 10 years to us being confirmed while stuck in quarantine. Of course, we'll still be getting a photo, but it won't be quite in the way that I imagined. But as upsetting as that might be, I've long since learned that being confirmed is not about getting my picture on that wall, but rather embracing my Judaism and committing to the Jewish people. I know now that I do not need a photo on that wall to know that I'm committed to who I am.
Spiritually or physically, we rise for the Baruch Hu.
Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorach Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Leolam Vaed.
we continue on page 31.
This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it, we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim.
And on page 33.
Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us, and the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works, and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ochav Amo Yisrael.
Deep breaths as we prepare to join together in the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
We may be seated as we continue with the Ve'ahavta on page 36.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol ravcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha Laman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti echem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
We turn back to Gabby to lead us in her words of inspiration as we anticipate Freedom's song.
Freedom to me is being able to go to sporting events at my school and watching my friends break records. To me, it is being able to go to the ice cream stand with my friends before going to the boat ramp and watching the sun set along the river. The ability to be able to worship in song with four of my closest lifelong friends, and being able to come to synagogue on Sunday and help with the consecration kids. But instead of that ability, I'm conformed to the walls of my house, no longer able to go to the custard stand or for donuts or for coffee instead of a healthy dinner. No longer able to sing in a place of worship without the fear of being judged. No longer able to tell the kids I work with how confirmation will be an amazing experience that you'll never forget. I miss it more than you can imagine, but we have to hope that things will be better and that we will be able to be free once again.
We join together in Mi Chamocha on page 40, and we turn back to Marissa for that.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha medar b'kodesh, nora tehilot o seifelet, nora tehilot o seifelet. Malchehu et hara uvanecha, bokei ayam mipnei Moshe Miriam, ze Elianu v'yamru, ze Elianu v'yamru, Adonai imo le'olam va'ed, Adonai imo le'olam va'ed.
We continue with Hashkivenu on page 42 as we give thanks for the night and its rest.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamideinu shomreinu l'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamideinu shomreinu l'chaim. Shield us, save us, spread your shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamideinu shomreinu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamideinu shomreinu l'chaim.
We turn to page 44. Page 44 as Marissa leads us in Vishamru.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat, la'asot et Shabbat ledoret haberit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat, la'asot et Shabbat ledoret haberit olam. B'nei uvein, b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat, la'asot et Shabbat ledoret haberit olam. Ki sheishet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat, la'asot et Shabbat ledoret haberit olam. Ubayom hashvi'i Shabbat v'yin yafash, Shabbat vayinafash v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledoretam berit olam.
Spiritually or physically, we rise for the Amidah, Adonai Sfatai on 46, Avot V'imahot on 48, the Givorot on 50, and the Takadosh on 52.
Adonai sifatak uvkia gita hilatecha. Adonai, open up our lips that our mouths may declare your praise.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, El Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanara, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, v'Komei Hakol, v'Zoher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, Umefi geula livnei v'neihem lema'an shemo be'ahava velech ozer umofia umagen Baruch atah Adonai magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah.
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מחכה חיים וחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומציל אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו, לשני עפר, מכמוך בגבורות, ומדום מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל.
אתה קדוש בשמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום, יהללוך הסלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
We may be seated. And we turn to Evan to share his words of reflection and inspiration.
When I first came to Sunday school, I was really nervous because I didn't know anybody, but also because on my first day of school, I was wearing an Everything Goes Better with Bacon shirt. That day was the scariest and happiest day of my life. That is when I met the people who would become my lifelong friends, even if I didn't know it yet. And now today, to be honest, I didn't know why I was being confirmed for a really long time. But now I see that the real reason I wanted to do this was so that I could keep seeing my friends, and that is also why I kept coming to Sunday school to sell bagels. Most of the time, I wasn't at the table of bagels. I was off trying to hang out with people and trying to make Sunday school more enjoyable. And that is why, and that is what confirmation means to me, staying with all of my friends, even if I'm not really with them.
Amen. The world has so much brokenness right now. It does not take a lot to see all that is broken, to know that so many are suffering and so many are suffering from illness. Whether it is illness caused by senseless hate, illness caused by violence, or illness caused by a virus, illness caused by being connected to any of those things. Whether physical, mental, or emotional illness, we pray for all who are ill to have healing. If there's someone for whom you are praying on this Shabbat, I invite you to share the name out loud where you are. If you'd like, you can type the name in the chat, either on Zoom or on YouTube, so that we can all pray for them together. May they all come to a refuah shlema, a healing of wholeness, a sense of peace within themselves, a sense of peace between them and the divine in the universe. Let us all pray for their healing on 253.
So my fire alarm is going off. I want to pray for healing. Rabbi, do you have a suggestion of how I should handle this? All right, go for it. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Imotenu Mikor habracha Avoidenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
So while the cantor goes ahead and departs her apartment and finds a safe place downstairs, we're going to go ahead and pray silently. Whatever prayer we have in our heart, whatever prayer we have in this moment, we're going to go ahead and offer that up.
Oh, say shalom, bimromav, say shalom, aleinu, be'akol, Yisrael, ve'imeru, amen. Oh, say shalom, bimromav, say shalom, aleinu, ve'akol, Yisrael, ve'imeru, amen. Oh, say shalom, bimromav, say shalom, aleinu, ve'akol, Yisrael, ve'imeru, amen. Oh, say shalom, bimromav, say shalom, aleinu, ve'akol, Yisrael, ve'imeru, amen.
So one of the dilemmas about leading services via Zoom instead of on the Bema, and I told the confirmation class this, is that all of the quiet little moments, all of the little, shoulder squeezes and whispered under your breath, you're doing a great job. All of those little moments can't be done because we're not on the Bema together. And even if we were, we would be socially distant. So I get to say the quiet part out loud and just say to all of our students, you have been doing a marvelous, wonderful job leading us through our service. We're going to transition to the Torah service in a moment. Before we do so, before we transition to the Torah service, I just want to say I see a number of last year's confirmation students here and previous confirmands, not just from last year. And it's a joy to be able to see that. There is, Hannah brought up in her remarks, that sense of looking at the pictures and that sense of Lador Vador, that all of the different confirmation classes and how they support one another. And especially with this class, knowing that we have a number of legacies in this class, that we've got kids whose parents are on that wall having celebrated confirmation. It's a wonderful thing. Our Torah reading this evening, this confirmation class, is of course the Aseret Hadibrot, the 10 Commandments, taken from Deuteronomy in our case. And before our confirmation class recites them, and they've been working on this so beautifully, and before they do so, I do have to warn that it was going to be Cantor who was going to share her screen with the text that you've been practicing out of the Plout. Rabbi Capella is going to share a different text, which is the one we have handy. So if you have your hand text handy, although Cantor might be rejoining us, so maybe not. But if you have your text handy, the one that you printed out, you might want to rely on that just in case. But again, with saying the quiet part out loud. But another word on this Torah portion. We know the 10 Commandments. We're familiar with them. Some of us are very familiar with them. My dad, who's in this service somewhere, I've lost his screen, just wrote a chapter on a book that the CCIR put out about the 10 Commandments. But I want to call attention to the verses that come right before it, where Moses says that we should learn them in order to do them. And there's a text in the Talmud that tells us, why do we have to say that? Why can't we just say that we have to do them? Because learning them must lead to doing them. Learning mitzvot must learn to doing mitzvot. You 5 are about to complete your formal, youth-based Jewish education. Jewish learning never stops. But learning must always lead to doing. The Torah that you've learned, the Torah that you will continue to learn, must always lead to action, must always lead to you lifting up those mitzvot. Otherwise, the learning will have been in vain. So my hope and my prayer for you is that you're able to lift up your mitzvot, and you'll be able to do those mitzvot, and you're able to take that learning and make it real in the world. With that, Rabbi, are we waiting to see if Cantor is able to share a screen, or we're just going to go ahead and share the Sefaria text? What are we doing? Aha! Miracles. And hopefully she's doing this from downstairs in a safe location.
I am.
It looked like she was outside, I saw.
Oh, lovely, lovely. So
that was perfectly timed, by the way, the sharing.
that was, well, you know, it's like we know what we're doing or something. Before we recite, even before that, there is a tradition at Beth Emeth, which is a tradition for Jews, for Ashkenazi Jews, is the recitation of Octa Moot, a prayer that anticipates the reciting of the 10 Commandments. We're not able to sing it this year because, as we know, singing on Zoom out loud together sounds bad. But I have asked the kids to recite a verse or two each, since it is a poem as well. So we're going to turn to our confirmands to go ahead and recite Octa Moot in turn. I'm not going to slam on the table. You can just go ahead and unmute and do it.
Could we with ink the ocean fill?
Were every blade of grass a quill?
Were the world of parchment made, and everyone a scribe by trade?
To write the love of God above would drain the ocean, drain it dry.
Nor would the scroll contain the whole, though stretched from sky to sky.
Thank you for doing that. We call our confirmation class forward to recite the Aliyah, and as is traditional for the recitation of the 10 Commandments, if you are able to do so, I invite you to stand for this recitation. And while the confirmation class will be muted with the exception of CC Gadzinski, we are calling all of them forward to recite blessings before and after the reading. Mishaberach Avotenu v'Imotenu, may the one who blessed our ancestors bless this class, the Torah that they have learned, the Torah that they will do in the world as they come forward to give honor to that Torah.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים, ונתן לנו את תורתו. ברוך אתה אדוני, נותן התורה.
Amen. Our first Baal Korah, our first reciter of Torah is Evan Brumberg. I think we need to, all the way back to the top. There we go.
Anochi Adonai Elohecha Asher Tzeticha Me'eretz Mitzrayim Mi'beit Avadim Lo Yechie Lecha Elohim Acherim Al Peinai Lo Ta'ase Lecha Vesel Kol Temunah Asher Bashamayim Mima Asher Ba'aretz Mitachat Asher B'mayim Mitachat La'aretz.
Our next Baalat Kriya is Marissa Lane.
Lo tishtachaveh lahem velo to'ovdeim ki Anochi Adonai Elohecha Elkanah Pokei Avon Avot Al Banim Ve'al Shileshim Ve'al Ribeim Ve'sonai Ve'oseh Chesed La'alafi Le'ohachvai Ulshomrei Mitzvotai Lo Tisa Et Shem Adonai Elohecha Lashav Ki Lo Yenakeh Adonai Et Asher Yisa Et Shemo Lashav.
We turn now to Cece Gedzinski as our next Baalat Kriya.
Shamor et Yom HaShabbat L'Kodsho Ka'asher tzivcha Adonai Elohecha Sheshet Yomim Ta'avod Ve'asita Chol Melachtecha Ve'yom Hashvi'i Shabbat L'Adonai Elohecha Lo Ta'aseh Chol Melacha Ata Uvincha Uitecha Ve'avdecha Va'amatecha Ve'shorcha V'chamorcha V'chol behemtecha Ve'gercha Asher bisharecha Leman Yanuach Avdecha Va'amatcha Kamocha.
Our next Baalat Kriya is Gabby Mavrin.
V'zacharta ki eved hayita be'eretz Mitzrayim ve'utziacha Adonai Elohecha misham bayad kazaka uvizroa netuya alkein tzicha Adonai Elohecha la'asot et yom HaShabbat kabed et avicha ve'et imecha כאשר תיכה אדוני אלוהיך למען יאריכון ימיך ולמען ייטב לה על האדמה אשר אדוני אלוהיך נותן לך.
And our last Ba'at Kriya, who will also be leading the class and the blessing after the reading, is Hannah Darginio.
Lo tirtzach, velo tin'af, velo tignov, velo ta'aneh re'acha et shav, velo tachmod eshet re'echa, velo tid'aver beit re'echa, sadehu va'avdo va'amato shoro v'chamoro v'chol asher l're'echa. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. And Yasher Koach to all of you. Well done. Beautifully recited. We may be seated except for our confirmands. I'm going to ask you guys to stand for the moment. So this is where this moment gets to be a little unusual. Because normally at this point, we would be calling you forward to receive your gift and your certificate and all of that wonderful stuff, and I'd be calling you before the ark for a blessing. You are still receiving a blessing this evening, and we rejoice in each of you. And most of you got your gift, the Tanakh, yesterday. Cece, I promise you're going to get it. I just couldn't quite drive that far. Cece is joining us. The power of the internet means that Cece is being confirmed all the way in Carolina. But I want to say a word about how important and how special this moment is. How powerful it's been watching each of you, all of you, grow up to this point in your lives. At our rehearsal, our last rehearsal, when we were talking about the photos on the wall again, Marissa said something about how this class's photo is going to be iconic. And there are certain classes that we look on the wall and we see and we know that they are significant in various ways. And in so many ways, this class is significant. And all that you have done and continue to do is significant. And I want to highlight something that each of you shared. And you didn't plan this, I don't think, but you all talked about this, and you all talked about the importance of community, of belonging, of being with one another, of being supportive of one another. I hope and I pray that that continues to happen. I hope and pray that you continue to help out on Sunday mornings, that you continue to be present in our youth group, that you continue to sell bagels even if you're not at the table and you're off doing other things, or just present doing Jewish stuff with one another and being with one another and building community with one another. So with that in mind, it's our pleasure, myself, Rabbi Capel, and Cantor Flynn, who's here somewhere, to be able to share words of blessing over our confirmands, those confirmands being Evan M. Brumberg, Hannah R. Darginio, Cecilia Jean Gadzinski, Marissa Miller Lane, and Gabrielle Marie Mavrin. I'm going to ask for the parents and family members who are in the house with you to go into the room that our confirmands are in. They know this is happening. This is not, this is with at least sort of permission. And to place your hands in a loving and blessing-like fashion over your child. And I know there's a couple of parents who are going to be doing this through the power of the internet and not through the power of being in physical proximity. So I'm going to ask you to do that as well. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can actually touch them. It's okay. You can touch them. I can't do that because stuff. So we stretch our hands out. And I would ask all of those who are on this call, all those who are on this service, if you have a blessing to extend to this class, send it forward to them. Just send that energy forward to them from wherever you are. As Cantor leads us in the Hebrew and Rabbi Capella and I lead us in the English of the blessing.
May God bless you and watch over you.
May God's light shine in you, shine upon you, inspire you, and be gracious to you.
Shalom. Shalom.
May God smile on you and inspire you, and may you always know the wholeness and peace that we call shalom. Amen.
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 Amen. With that, just say again, it's been wonderful. And I look forward to seeing you guys more. The current post-confirmation kids will tell you guys about post-confirmation and how awesome it is to hang out. Right, Lauren? Okay. With that.
And you get to go to DC again.
And you get to go to DC again. You get to go to Letaken again. Some of you get to go again for the first time, which is also good. Cantor, before we continue, you're good. The cats are good. Zach's
We
good.
are.
There you go. Cats al fresco. How good, wonderful is that? Well, we'll continue with Aleinu L'Shabeach as you are able. I'll invite you to rise and we'll turn to page 282 as we join in that.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים. לבני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר וחיה אדוני, כמלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו echad.
We may be seated. As we turn to page 294. Page 294. However brief may be our time on earth, O God, you endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. We take time now to remember those who are precious to us. If you have lost someone in the last 30 days, the period of Shloshim, as you are able to do so, I invite you to rise. And if you have lost someone in the last year, I invite you to rise where you are. If on this Shabbat you observe a yard site, the anniversary of a loved one's passing, I invite you to rise. If it is your custom to remember those whom only we can remember, the martyrs of our people, those of every race and nation who died sanctifying the divine name, those too many who have died through racial violence, and all the tens of thousands who have died in this country and beyond from this terrible pandemic, I invite you now to rise as we join together in Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divra chiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayedecho Beit Yisrael, v'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach, yishtabach, Viet Pa'ar, Viet Romam, Viet Naseh, Viet Hadar, Viet Ale, Viet Halal, Shemed Kudusha, Barichu, La'ela Min Kol Birchata V'Shirata, Tushbechata V'Nechamata, Ta'amiran Bi'alma V'Imru Amen. Yehe Shalama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'Chaim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'Imru Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Huya Aseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'Imru Amen. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at the season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. We remember Edward Ilgren, Anna Belfint, David Berlowitz, Michael Cohen, Millard Dawson, Jack Denkin, Alice Epstein, Shirley Goldstein, Theodore Grant, Joan Greenberg, Robert Grohl, Hyman Harris, Celia Casvan, Harry Kaiser, Bessie Levithan, Sarah Pindus, Gus Reisman, John Roth, Harry Topkis, and Merrill Goldman. And I would ask if you have a name that you'd like to add, please feel free to put it in the chat or say that name out loud. We'll take a moment to remember all of them. From the chat, we have the name Roberta Cohen. For all those we mention out loud, for all those we mention in our hearts, Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be a blessing, as we say, Amen. We may be seated. Mazal Tov to the class once again, to you and to your families. Just as it was a joy to be able to celebrate your B'nai Mitzvah a couple of years ago, it was a joy to be able to celebrate today. Again, as Cece said so beautifully, a confirmation unlike any other, but it is so good to have been able to celebrate with all of you and be together with all of you. We and your families, and with probably family members who might not have been able to make it otherwise, so which is pretty cool too. Torah study tomorrow morning at 9:30, as usual, with Rabbi Capel in this particular case. And all of our programming via Zoom and Facebook and YouTube and Carrier Pigeon and directly downloaded to your brain and whatever else we're doing these days will continue. A couple of quick reminders, Kabbalat Shabbat next week. The following week is Rabbi Capel's last service with us, so a chance for us to celebrate all that she's done as our Director of Lifelong Learning. And that Sunday, there's post-confirmation at lunchtime, but before that, there is a last car line, a chance for everybody to kind of drive through the parking lot, say goodbye to Rabbi Capel, wave hello to the clergy, wave to all of our song leaders, or some of our song leaders, and be able to celebrate this past year as unique as it has been, all of us together. Welcome to all of our guests, whether you're on YouTube or on Zoom. A joy to be able to celebrate this evening with all of you. And one guest I want to especially call out who, normally I just call out parents of clergy, but in this case, we are blessed to be joined by Eliana Hall, our incoming Director of Lifelong Learning. So a joy to be able to celebrate this Shabbat with you. And I'm assuming it's actually a background, but it looks like you're also outdoors that you and the cantor are matching, which is very clever, very clever. Which leads us, actually, speaking of the cantor, to our closing song, which is a very special project. Many of us are familiar with the song I Have a Voice, which was the song that was sung enthusiastically as part of Litaken this year, which our confirmation class kids got to do with the Religious Action Center of Reform Judaism down in Washington, D.C. And thanks to the cantor who worked incredibly hard on this, along with our song leader, Rachel Greenspan. And Cantor, you're gonna have to remind me the last name of your classmate, Cantor Jacob.
Namie,
who's on the guitar on this. They have arranged to be able to have this as their closing song, all of them singing together without it being strange. And the power of technology, the power of the internet. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to have us all mute, but singing along with our confirmation class, including our confirmation class singing along with themselves, because we can do that now as we join together.
gift I've been given every day.
I have a voice, my voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice, my voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. I will give of myself.
I will give of myself.
I will reach out my hand.
I will reach out my hand. I will use this heart I've been given to take a stand.
I have a voice. Change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asanu b'tselem Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asanu b'tselem Elohim. I have a voice, my voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice, my voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. I will fight for the truth.
I will fight for the truth.
I'll stand up for what's right.
I'll stand up for what's right. I will use this strength I've been given to be the light.
I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world.
Yasher Koach to our class. Mazel tov to all of you. Yasher Koach to our cantor and Rachel Greenspan for putting that together. That's, I got to tell you, that kind of sound editing and everything is really, really hard. So mazel tov to all of you. We are going to end our streaming of the YouTube, and we are going to segue to being able to have a little own